This is the Poker Heaven European Cash Game. Really good poker action here. Nick Wealthall sitting in with Gary Jones, watching some of the better cash game players in the world play deep stack poker, Gary. A ton of money on this table.
Yeah, over 100,000 euros spread between these 8 players. A real mixture of kind of backgrounds and talents. Some have come from the internet, some have been around for quite a while. I'll leave you guys to guess which ones are which. I don't want to upset anyone.
You're saying some of them are old. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying some of them have been playing longer than others. That's all I'm saying.
So far, I only got them once.
Well, this is the internet age, and some of the younger players will have played more hands of poker than the guys that have been around for years.
625 total to play?
Yeah, that's very true. When you're playing 4 tables and you're getting 60, 70 hands an hour, you can get a lifetime of knowledge in just a couple of years. I think you find that too many of the old school pros don't respect some of the internet players as much as they really should.
And an interesting hand.
4, 3 on the board.
Christoph Haller's decided to play the Jack-4 offsuit, out of position and behind.
Yeah, he's caught second pair on this board.
Well, Iverson re-raised pre-flop, so
850.
if Christoph does want to bluff, it's not a bad board to check raise. We can see that it's hit Albert, but a lot of times it wouldn't.
I think he plays cards that small.
Raise.
Putting a little re-raise in here.
Yeah, I think that was his plan all along, especially on a flop like this.
To play.
Well, Albert's made some good calls already today. He's our big winner right now, and he got those chips by making a good call against
10 more, I think.
one of our early casualties, Sammy George.
11.
What's Albert's thought process here, Gary? He's hit top pair, but obviously it's not a super strong hand.
He's basically seeing how much this is going to likely to cost him. He's decided to take a card with position, see what Christoph wants to do on the turn. But you're right, there are a lot of hands that have got him beat. Pocket 7s, 8s, 9s, all genuine hands that he could be up against here. He's going to like that check.
Yeah, it was a one-shot deal from Christoph. Didn't even think about continuing the move.
No.
1500 to play.
That's quite a small bet. It's almost like opening up the action again.
I was going to say, that's a strange bet for me.
Yeah, and Christoph looks a little puzzled too. He's going to call for 1500.
Interesting pot, 9,000 euros in it.
And no one really knows where they are. That's going to pretty well stop them both in their tracks.
Although, well,
possibly an opportunity loss for Christoph.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, very tough for Albert Iverson to like that card, given that he re-raised pre-flop. But check it goes.
Neither of them wants to show their hand. The ace-6 of Albert Iverson's going to take this pot down. Someone somewhere probably should have played this hand a little bit different.
Yeah,
but,
it's one of those, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Fascinating pot. How it got to be 9,000 euros deep, only those two players will know.
Exactly.
The Danish for sure. We're the biggest bluffers and the biggest stations, I think. So Danish players are the best and the craziest.
The Swedes are pretty crazy. I mean, they're just extremely aggressive and extremely good, and they're probably one of the more difficult people to play.
Yeah, Irish are pretty up there, you know. I mean, we stand the test of time. There's not so many of us on an international scene now. Maybe we've got a bit more conservative recently.
I should say the Chinese, maybe. They're a little bit more kamikaze sort of players, you know.
I think there's a certain sort of Mediterranean sort of lunacy that happens with Italian players.
The Russians, yeah, they don't care about money. They come to have fun, and they put in things you won't believe. Yeah.
The Scandinavian nations, it's very cold there, you know, and they don't get out too much unless it's skiing or downhill skiing, which is like, it's really scary, you know.
I think the ones that have sort of cold, calculating craziness, definitely the Scandis.
They're nuts. They are nuts.
Well, there's something there. There's something like, it's like they're busting to like express something, you know, and maybe that comes out a bit at the poker tables.
We just don't understand it. When we play with them all day long, and we were seeing the bluff, re-raising the bluff. I've never seen it before. It's crazy.
They just don't care. They just don't care. Don't care about the money. They just like to have fun.
Eric Liu will have the button in this hand.
It's 200 to play.
And apparently it's cigar time.
What is that, Sosi?
Call.
No, it's sausage time. It's so hard to tell the difference, isn't it?
Some people call it a sausage.
Some people call it a sausage.
It's actually a vegetarian
One of the
sausage.
things I never actually wanted to see, if I'm honest, Gary.
No.
You're not?
I used to be for years, but I'm not anymore.
Call.
Well,
What made you change
Bambos has raised and got no respect whatsoever. Six-way action.
3, 10, ace. Check, check,
Check.
check.
Looks like it's going to be checked around. Christoph Haller has flopped
Check.
top pair, but no kicker.
Check. Check. 6.
Check again.
Okay. Check.
Six isn't going to change too much. Who wants it?
To check some.
Well, the man with the best hands making the action right now.
7 to play. 700 to play.
To check that enough.
There's a 10 in Andy Black's hand.
Have you put any of that?
Do you think I still remember?
Bamba's having a little bit of a think. I don't really know what about.
Raise. 1500 total to play.
Andy thinks his Queen 10 is
1500
good right
total.
now. Doesn't want to give any cheap cards. Putting the pressure back on Christoph. But Christoph not a man known to pass. He's going to call.
Call.
Wasn't much of a re-raise, to be fair.
2.
Yep.
Check, check.
Ace-8.
Ace-8's going to win it.
Oh.
It's only a small re-raise there from Andy Black, so what he's possibly doing is making sure that he doesn't have to call a bigger bet on the end, and if he is in front, he doesn't give a cheap card.
Okay,
So
with the folder card, scoop them down. Okay.
good play, especially the sort of thing that you might do in a tournament as well as a cash game.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
The button right now in front of Neil Channing. First man to act is going to be Riku. He's laying that one down. Nice round to Eric Liu in the cutoff. For those that don't know the expression, it means the one
450
before
total.
the button.
All right. 350, so.
He's making it 350 to play with the
350
blinds at
of a
25.50
total.
and a live straddle of 100. And defending his live straddle is Andy Black with pocket threes.
Cool.
9-6 for Eric Liu.
9, 5, 6.
Well, that's poker talent, isn't it?
Raise it up with 9-6, you flop top 2. That doesn't happen all that often. This also should come with a bit of a proviso. Don't try this one at home.
Sadly for Eric, I don't think he's going to get much money out of Andy here.
650. None whatsoever. May as well have not hit the top 2.
He is a tough player to put on a hand, Eric Liu.
Towards the end, shall we make the anti bigger?
I'm sure if I was sitting in that game, I could have given him a 9-6.
You would have bang on. Albert Iverson is the man in shots. He cashed 3 times at this year's series. But more than that, he's our money leader so far. 32,500 euros in front of him.
So yeah, everyone doesn't know.
To the left of him is Peter Eastgate, the WSOP
Okay,
main
large
event
total
champion. That wasn't a bad payday in anyone's book.
Keep thinking we haven't heard too much from Neil Channing, but he's the next player around. It's very
It's
seldom it's
400.
passed to him.
400 total to play.
Yeah, I think Neil's been on the back foot a little bit, watching how these young guns play.
Well, these hands have come the right way around for Eric.
Re-raise. 1,350
Recently
total.
re-raised in 9-6. Now he gets to re-raise with the real hand.
Okay.
Albert's got the 9-8 suited. Not sure what he wants to do here. Just finding out if Eric's sitting deep enough to make it worth continuing.
That's definitely what he's doing.
14 grand, 15 grand.
It's not a bad hand for cracking an overpair. I'm a fan of pocket pairs myself. But if you're going to gamble with suited connectors, these are pretty well right on the money.
Well, that is what's going to happen. He's going to make the call.
Call.
And we've got a pot approaching 3,000 euros.
4 on you.
And that 9 sends Albert Iverson into the lead.
Check.
No help for Eric.
Check.
He'll see if he can catch on the turn.
10.
Well, neither player has a diamond.
Check. King.
And that one's been checked too long by Albert Iverson. It was hard for him to bet it, out of position, with such a dangerous looking board. And he's paid for it. The big question is whether Eric's actually going to make a value bet here.
Check.
Check for Albert.
I check.
Okay. I think he's actually happy to actually turn over a genuine hand, Eric, here, so...
Yeah, Albert's a little bit frustrated. He was ahead till the river.
What was the other card?
Eric took his free shots to catch up.
Okay.
And Albert will lose that one. He hasn't lost too many today, though. Yeah, he's still smiling. There are winners and losers in our European cash game. Riku Virasari hasn't been able to turn round those early losses. Look at that, he's still down some 7,000 euros more or less. Neil Channing also down. Andy Black and Bambos haven't made an impact. And Christoph Haller's given back some of his early gains, hasn't he? Just 1,700 euro profit now. Two big winners in the game, though. Our American online superstar Eric Liu is up 7,500, and Albert Iverson still top of the shop. The day looks like it belongs to two players, Eric Liu and Albert Iverson, who will both be looking to build upon their current form. Join us next time for more thrilling action from the Poker Heaven European Cash Game. Bye for now.